You do understand what he was going to bring to the table in regards to sense of community. There's people always asking about him, and rightfully so, because not just because he's a very good player, but he comes from a very good family and he's a very good person. So that was disappointing, and it was something that we were all excited to give him that opportunity, especially in a year that was kind of a free year in terms of eligibility. Would have been kind of cool to get your kind of a free freshman year to a certain extent. Now you fast forward over a year, he worked really hard. He's been back on the court with us. You have to be smart about, there are times where his body has recovered where in such a way where I almost forget that, he's coming off a very serious injury. He's cleared. I have no, clearance on that in terms of the doctors and all that. But it's been exciting having him out on the court and then getting to be able to put your arm around him and try to coach him in regards to just, typical freshman growth. And that's where he is right now. I thought he did a phenomenal job of injecting himself into our team in the situations when he could last year. It's very easy as a redshirt or an injured player to kind of separate because you can get your rehab done at certain times, and it's a practice where you're kind of you have other things on your mind when you're sitting there for 2.5 hours every single day. Well, maybe fortunately, because we didn't practice at all last year, that was good for him, and he was stimulated with all of our games. But he was someone said I had him sit right at the front of the bench. At the end of the year, when he was able to jog, we put him in a knee brace, and he went out and got shots and layups at Evansville when we made the tournament. So I wanted him to have every ounce of experience that he possibly could have going into this year. So it's been a lot of fun this offseason. He's going to impact our team. I think that's realistic. I think he's going to impact our team in a way of just his positivity, his care. It matters to him. So that's realistic expectations. I have high expectations where he needs to live up to those standards that he essentially has set himself. I think our guys define their roles, and as a coach, you got to let them know the role that they defined. I don't go in there and say, hey, you're a shooter just because I wanted to be a shooter. Like you show me what you are on a day-to-day, and he's defined that as being part of his role. And I think expectations I think he can impact us for sure. But we all have to understand that he hasn't played for a year, and he's a freshman, But I do have high expectations for him because he's a very good player.